What's up, dudes? Okay, so today I'm going to be drawing my new Dungeons & Dragons character, Flik Quickstep. And I want to run you guys through my drawing process of making this illustration. I want to tell you a little bit about the character, and I want to talk about why I freaking love Dungeons & Dragons so much. Okay, so I'm going to try and do this whole explanation in one take. So there's gonna be some ums and ahs. I'm gonna try to keep it to a minimum, but please bear with me. And also I'm gonna be jumping around as I explain the process a little bit. So hopefully by the end, everything makes sense and it's not too confusing. Okay, so we're starting here in Photoshop. I'm just doing the sketch. I wanted to try and do this illustration kind of as quickly as possible. So right now you're watching the way sped up version. It's what you're watching is about 10.5 minutes long, but really I think this took me a little bit over an hour. So it's sped up, it's chopped up a little bit, but yeah, we're here in Photoshop. I have an idea of what Flik's character is like, but we've only played one game so far, so he's still a little bit of a clean slate. He has a backstory, he has a little bit of a personality, and I'm trying to just capture that here in my sketch. And this is, I guess, like the planning phase of the illustration, getting his costume or his gear kind of figured out. You know, he is a level 3 Halfling rogue, so he's got the pointy ears, he's got a short sword, he's got a cloak because he's a thief. And, you know, I wanted to capture his personality, so he's got his big goofy grin on, and as he's stealing the bag of gold and running away down the street. So yeah, this is Flik. In the story, Flik has left his home and has found his way into this new big city where he has fallen in with the Thieves Guild, and he's actually found himself and his new group of friends, my actual friends in real life that are playing other characters. They have found themselves in the middle of this murder plot where Flik's, for lack of a better word, boss and friend was found dead. And okay, real quick though, so this part I turned all the line art into a very light blue color. And this is so when I scan it back in later, the light blue will just disappear. But I've turned it light blue, printed it out, and now I'm inking over top of it. And I'm using a Kuretake brush pen. I'll put a picture of it right here. And I'm actually doing something by hand, which is rare for me these days. Usually for speed's sake, I keep stuff on the computer, but I've really been wanting to do a little inking by hand, so I thought this was a great opportunity to do a little bit of hand inking. So, okay, yeah, so Flik and his friends have found themselves in the middle of this murder mystery kind of thing. They're trying to figure out why Flik's friend had been murdered and all the blood got sucked out of him. So that's kind of where our adventure started, and really Flik is a character. Like I said, he's a level 3 rogue, he's a thief, he loves stealing stuff. His personality is very outgoing, and he likes to take big risks and likes big flourishes of adventure. And I thought this would just be a super fun character to play. And yeah, so really that's Flik. I don't know, if you guys are interested in hearing more about the story, maybe I can do drawings of the other characters and tell you about our adventures as they go along. I don't know, leave a comment below if that sounds interesting at all. Maybe not, maybe it's a little too nerdy, but okay. So, you know what, it's not too nerdy though. Let me talk about Dungeons & Dragons for a second. So, when I was younger, I played Dungeons & Dragons here and there, but never like an ongoing game. It was always just little one-off things, so I never, it was always fun, but I never like really got into it. But with this group, I'm playing with one of my best friends, his brother, our friend Scott, who's running the game. He's doing an amazing job running the game, and then one of Scott's friends. And dudes, it is so much freaking fun, right? So Dungeons and Dragons, playing Dungeons and Dragons is like, it's like everything I love in like one thing. Well, it's not everything. You know, there's no music or skateboarding in Dungeons and Dragons, but everything else is there, right? So if you know, it's like playing a video game. We're playing online, so you know, we're all spread out all over the country, and so we play online with the webcam, and Scott has all these awesome maps, and we're moving around, and it's really like a strategy video game, and you know, it's like the coolest board game ever, you know, because we're all sitting around playing together, and on top of all that, you know, it's hanging out with your friends, and it's creating stories. So at the end of every game, it feels like there's this weird like camaraderie that happens, not just because you're going on an adventure with your friends, but because you've created something together. And I mean, you guys know I love making stuff, right? I love designing skateboards and making comics and you know, t-shirts, all of it. Like I love when there's an idea in your head and you can realize it and turn it into something real. And that's what Dungeons and Dragons is. Only you're not just doing it by yourself, you're doing it with your friends, and all at the same time you're going on this crazy adventure. I just think it's the coolest. It's like just the coolest thing. So I don't know if you feel, if this all seems really nerdy and not cool, I would say get over yourself and try it. It's so fun. You do kind of have to find, I feel like you do have to find a group, but you know, a group of friends, and it has to work together. And if you're a person that is willing to put in the extra time and be a dungeon master, like, you're an awesome person, because it's a lot of work, but yeah, it's like Scott, dude, he's the best. Like he's creating these crazy stories, and it's so cool to be a part of them and help contribute. So okay, we're getting close to the end of the drawing here. From this point, I'm going to take the finished ink drawing, I'm going to scan it back into the computer and get it back into Photoshop. And what I really wanted to do here was to create the sort of look like if it was an illustration inside the player's handbook or something. So I'm going to use a watercolor effect and then put a sepia tone over top of it to make it look like it's a drawing on top of an old, you know, a really old piece of paper or whatever. And I mean, of course it still looks like one of my drawings, but you know, just give it that sort of effect. I don't know how well I did with that, but you know, this was my go at it. So right now I'm using Kyle Webster's real watercolor brushes to sort of give this ink wash effect, and really I'm just going in, adding some value to the drawing, and trying to make it look like it was painted on an old piece of paper. So after I get all the wash in, I'm gonna lay down a couple of scanned in pieces of paper as layers on top, and then mess with the layer styles and adjust the hue and saturation a little bit. And really that's all I did. Not a whole lot to this illustration, you know, it's not fully colored or anything like that. So yeah, okay. So I also want to say, if you guys like this sort of thing and you want to see more of my process stuff, down in the description below there's a link to my Twitch channel, and every Monday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. I stream on Twitch, and I usually do like a t-shirt design or work on a comic or, you know, something fun. and it's really, you don't have to watch it all sped up like this. You can ask questions. I really love the Twitch channel. It's like hanging out with you guys. So really, definitely go check it out. And you can also go on there and watch my past Twitch streams that are like saved in the videos. So, all right, dudes, that's it. That's Flik. I can't wait to play Dungeons and Dragons tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have an awesome, productive week, and I'll catch you later. Also, go play Dungeons and Dragons.